Haagenti, Hgog, Hog, Bast, Bastet, or whatever you may call it. The chant we are going to share tonight regarding this: S, capital, ZZTVMR, SZZTVMGR, second word, LM, third word, XZ, fourth word, ORIZXS. Some would say it 48 times. Some would say it enough to change how they feel a bit, so let's see what I decide to do. Sazanvanger Lamkazoriz 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 Sazanvanger Lamkazoriz. Okay. I'm feeling it a bit, so I'm going to stop. And your typical grimoire is going to list it as a president, over 33 legions, as a mighty bull with griffin's wings, then a human shape, turns water into wine and wine into water, makes men wise, and turns metals into gold, or so they say. Perhaps only in this spirit vision, right? Pathfinder Wiki has it worshipped by alchemists, drow, non-werewolf, lycanthropes, shapeshifters. It has it as a maker of destructive weapons in Cerebulim, or the Abyss. It says that it lacks and chaotic evil, but it's a subtle sort of demon. Little Doom Witch has it under Earth, which would really be Ziminar, as a nocturnal being. For initiatory work, not really a sweet sort of entity. Hard to tell its intentions, but it, puts on a show. Stephanie Conley says that it's of alchemy and turning the difficult into simple. And I guess you could also say that the simple into difficult. Neber Neglecta has it as a gluttony demon, an archangel of animals. Black Witch Coven says it can translate difficult text. Michael W. Ford says it can make the ordinary or the negative into extraordinary or positive. The Black Pyre says that it's for naturalistic magic and serious demonology studies. I think I can do well enough with demonology studies without this being tutoring me, but some people feel that that's necessary for them, and that is their choice. Serpentis 666 says that it's Bastet and water, which would be Karshan, that king of the elements, and appears cat-like, or with many cats. Axkonxt says that it required her to change her appearance, and operations are in the time of the waxing moon, and so it's the 5th right now. So that would be a waxing moon, the 5th of the 3rd month. Scale teeth has it over sardines, anchovies, and seafood in general. James Donahue says it's like Jesus at the wedding in John. It instructs in any subject, and it changes into various forms, but its body always stays red. And remember, if you're not aware of this, St. Irenaeus and some of the other church fathers knew that there was a text about Bacchus that turns out to be written 4 centuries prior to the Gospel of John. Well, a little more than that, but so 4 centuries prior, and it's the first Christian gospel, and the other 3 canonical gospels are sort of based on that. But it's cross out Jesus, write Bacchus, and the early virgins are really close to that. And Bacchus was sort of the, because Jesus at the wedding feast, he was married because it was his responsibility according to the Bible. But it very well could have been grafted, a Messiah that wants to make sure that everybody who is still sober could get drunk. I'm not so certain about that. Some scents include anise, blackberry, black haw, caraway, cassia, cinnamon, cinquefoil, I may be pronouncing that wrong, clary sage, crabgrass, dill, alkanpain, fennel, lavender, mace, mandrake, sage, sandalwood, southernwood, storax, star anise, sweet gum, trigacanth, valerian, wintergreen. And your traditional music would be a D through E major. The ONA gives mode 6, E minor, Hypodorian, and Aeolian. And your typical grimoire says not in the twilight, except under its elemental king, which there's a difference of opinion whether it's Karshan or Ziminar. Karshan, Ziminar. But the scientific would be a 141.27 hertz, which is a C sharp in the 30th octave. And if you want bees to sting you, play this sound. Or run from you, I'm not sure which. I haven't tried it. 66.2 over 132.4 beats per minute. And 448.5 hertz over 440 hertz, so plus 33.2 centimeters. And Sazanvangerlam Katzes Oriz. Okay. It's a difficult one to say, but you may want to remember to put these things in your brass-lined vessel or some other maybe non-traditional sort of metal associated with that. And so let's turn to (2014), and this more or less is the final version of the ritual at hand. Some people pair it with the Shemham Forosh, but I feel no need because, and the Demonolator would probably find no need as well because it's why. And I am not seeing much in the way here. Huntep is a doorkeeping demoness, a rejuvenating doorkeeping entity that they thought was a goddess. And we have a crocodile or lizard spirit. Hanufi. Yeah. Ooh. Hanu. What the. What the. You. Okay. That's a difficult one to say. Hun. Thoak. Thoas. Okay. So that would be the Egyptian, but let's see if I say anything more. Hunitep. Hanuthu. And let's get into my first experience of this sort in 2011 before going into any more. And $5:48 to 6:18 p.m. Thursday, the 17th of November. Halesia, symbolizing retention. I'm not sure at the moment what that was, but I felt a series of flutterings coming down. I felt more and more heady. I began to tingle all over. I felt a strong presence in the north, or behind me, to the right, of northeast. Yeah, northeast. I saw as if I was dispersing as a cloud of colors. Thrice I felt a warm flushing arise, and out through my crown. I throbbed pleasantly. I saw abstractions of myself and the room. I shone brightly, particularly my face. My head felt cool as my chest fluttered, like an icy zap of a current. It shot down me. Following quickly was repeated currents of pleasure. I was in a peaceful solitude. I felt big. My head seemed of tremendous size. It was bigger in proportion to my body. My perception. I feel oddly stilled. And to return for the language portion, and I see someone has joined here. So of the ancient Aramaic, we have Nuth, shake, Well, Aramea is what it was called in its own thing. It wasn't called Biblical Hebrew. It wasn't called Hebrew even. Nuth, shake or move, nuth, spread, squash, seed, basket, bed, floor. Definitely the season to have brought in the squash. Ani is wail. Ni is wail or wailing. Can also be a flow. Nut, remove. Chut, break, fear, dismayed, broken, dread. I think maybe some of it is the connection, because sometimes I'm seeing pretty clear and I'm not finding the reason why it's not showing. But I try. Chanut, room or cabin. Chanit, spear or javelin. Chun, camp, beauty, to continue. Wall continues, grace, favor, gracious, pleasant, precious. As some will say, Hagenti likes to put on more of a show than is necessary. Chi, live life. Chi, as in shitty out chi. Live stomach, life, beast, alive, creature, raw. Running, living thing, springing, appetite, quick. Chuth, join, cord, thread, line, fillet. Chitha, measure. Sin, purify, cleanse. Sinner. Committed, offended, blame, done, offender, sinful. Belts, grievously, offenses. Oh, faults, not fault. Well, it makes sense that a demon would have sinner in its name, now wouldn't it? Chuthi, sin. Chuth, measure, cord. Miss, sin. Chugu, refuge, cliff. Chug, circle, compassed, circuit, compassed. Chaga, terror. Chagug, feast, keep, celebrate, dance, holy day, reel to and fro. Chug, feast, circle, terror, outside gathering, sacrifice. Goo, wine press, a footmarked press, wine fat. Well, I guess if there's any Goetia demon that has something to do with pilgrimage, this one would be on the list. I can't think of any other at the moment. Gnan, shield, defend. Agen, basin, basins, cup, goblet. Gun, garden, protection, a gathering of seeds. Well, for the wine, oh, gut? Okay, maybe that's that. Remember the story about Jesus in the garden. Actually, more than one, right? Gao, pride. Gown, pride. Excellency, majesty, prompt, swelling, arrogancy, excellent, proud. Remember, in Arabic, we have Raween, which is sort of like Goyim in its actual meaning. The deviators. You have Ga, high, mischief. Tet, imagine, mischief. Hunt, assail. Hui, sigh, alas. Ho, ha, oh, woe, sigh. Something out of joy. He, sigh, disaster, woe. Hagiyun, melody, the Hagian type of music, a meditation, a solemn, a sound. Hgog, ponder, pondering, musing. So the music of demons, right? But also the meditation of demons. Hug, ponder. Wa, look, he, she, that, him, her, this, which, who, such, wherein be it one. Ha, look, behold, lo, even. And, okay, 2012. I remember the orange is definitely of its colors. But for language, I should interrupt. Yeah, there's a lot of variety to look at. And from 2012, we have November 17th. (7:03 to 7:34 p.m.) Kurkubita, pumpkin, a symbol of change. Contemplation verses that I decided to include here because it relates. Matthew, it can form a separate, it can form a comparative reference. Matthew 4, 1 through 25, John 2, 1 through 17, Romans 14, 19 through 22, James 2, 12 through 20, Apocalypse 2, 17, Proverbs 23, 19 through 21, Psalms 12, 6 through 9, Exodus 7, 17 through 19, Genesis 2, 4 through 14, and 5, 18 through 25. And from Quran, I found 238, 255, 303, 1860 through 82, 1952 through 57, 21, 85, 24, 35, 25, 20, 85, 12 through 22, 106, 1 through 4, and 108, 1 through 3. 3 orange sparks, and the pattern of a right-pointing equilateral triangle appeared. There was an orange glow that disappeared. After a minute? Oh, in a minute. Same thing. There was a presence just before and behind me. I felt pressed in upon from behind. My skin was hypersensitive. I felt heady. I cried tears of joy. My face was wet at times from this. A warmth would pour out of me at times. I saw blotchy patterns of turquoise blue mist. I gained tremendously in energy. I felt a pressure from within. I shuddered. I gave way as I flashed in and out of view. I felt incredibly good, with no pain or stiffness. My attention was really intense. A yellow cloud like a cylinder of yellow smoke, halfway up and connected to one of the same size on the right, half the size of it down. My eyes returned to normal at 7:39 p.m., as did